Hey y'all, first episode of Venomous Tongue with Eve. It's just been so much that's been on my mind that I've been wanting to talk about, and I talk to myself a lot because I don't really have people to talk to. A lot of my relationships are no contact currently, so it's kind of difficult for me to express myself to people that don't really know me. So I'm doing it to the screen, and I'm hoping that people can relate to what I'm talking about, and that what I'm going through with my experiences can help someone else. So today's topic is about family. I've been no contact off and on with both sides of my family. My father, my stepmother, and my biological mom and my siblings on both sides for almost a year, but off and on. And honestly, I just got tired of explaining myself, so I just went no contact. And people don't really take accountability, so it's like I'm speaking on deaf ears. But my son spoke with my niece today because around this time we're usually traveling to California. My niece and my son are 4 months apart. And so we travel so that they can stay in touch with each other and they can grow up with each other. But really, it's all on my behalf. Like, I always am the one who's spending the money to go and travel, to go and see my family. Like, they rarely come out here. Granted, my biological mom and my sister, my older sister on my mom's side, they have come to birthday parties and things like that. But my father and his wife, my stepmom, and her children, my brother and my sister, with my stepmom and my dad, they don't travel out here. They haven't been to any of my son's birthday parties or anything. To them, it's like I'm supposed to come there. Like, they're like, oh, you're the one who moved to Arizona. And I'm like, yeah, I moved to Arizona because I was homeless in California where all of my family lived and nobody wanted me to live with them. My brother and my sister live with my parents still. My brother is 3 years younger than me, and my little sister is 13 years younger than me, and they're still staying at home with my parents. Not saying that it's a bad thing, but I'm saying that to say that when my little sister was 13 years old, she had a 13th birthday party, and my stepmom's friend came up to me and she's like, you should never want to move back home with your parents and blah, blah, blah. But still to this day, at my big 37-year-old age, my siblings are still living with my parents and nobody says anything to them. So I have been learning how to self-regulate my emotions. All through my 20s, even though I've had hardships with other relationships and it's kind of like stopped me from growing, I was focused on other things. So it was difficult for me to regulate my emotions when I'm in other traumatic situations. But now I have been working more on regulating my emotions, and me going no contact with my family is like peace to me, and they don't understand it. They think that I'm just being fake, or I'm being problematic, or I don't know, it's an issue for them because they were used to me always coming that way, always doing, always giving. And when I cut all of that off, they stopped calling me. They don't call me. They only call me when they need something, or when they want me to come to an event, or to see when I'm coming that way. Like, when are you guys coming this way? When are you guys going to come and visit us? When are you guys going to call us on a consistent basis so that we know that y'all really care? You know what I'm saying? Why do I always have to pick up the phone and call when it goes both ways? There's no reciprocity, So, I just learned to live my life for me and my son because I'm the only one who does for us. And it kind of made me sad when my son talked to my niece today, and she's like, guess what I'm doing? He's like, what? She's like, oh, we're having a movie night. Like, my sister and my mom, my biological mother and my older sister, they stay like close to each other. So my sister has a mother that helps her with her child. My brother and my sister with my dad and my stepmom, they have their parents. I don't have parents. I don't. It's just me. It's just me and my baby. I don't have no support. It's just me by myself. So, and they don't see that. Nobody sees that. Like, nobody cares to even pick up the phone and call us and check up on us. And when they send text messages, it's like every 3 months or something like that. And it's like, I'm just tired of it. I'm just so over it. So I have to always journal and get these things off my chest, because I don't really like have the capacity to deal with it anymore. I'm really like over it, but it still hurts my feelings and makes me kind of jealous because they have the parents and I don't. Like, we have the same parents. How come I don't have parents and you guys do? Like, that's not fair to me, you know? It kind of makes me sad sometimes, but I'm more than a conqueror. I'm a resilient. I've always been able to bounce back from different things, but this has always been a trigger for me. It's always been a trigger for me. Like, you guys have parents, like, and we have the same parents, and I just feel like I've never done anything really wrong for them to treat me this way. Like, and I understand that I'm here in Arizona is different from being me living in California, but even when I was living in California, I was homeless. I got out of a 24-month situation with a pimp and being in a stable with other prostitutes, and I was just over it. And so I came back to California to try to like straighten my life out and get things together and under control. And my parents, like, my stepmother and my father, they kind of just like didn't really want to help me. It was like they wanted to kind of see me struggle, and especially if I wasn't like following their rules. Like, I ended up going to Costa Rica with a friend to just get my mind off of things. I had a job at the time. I had my own money. It's not like I was asking them for money. I think I was even like giving money for a bill or something. I don't really remember, but I know that I never like asked for money. I never needed them for like nothing, because I just always fend for myself. At a very young age, I fend for myself. I just knew how to be independent, you know? And so I don't ask my parents for nothing. I just needed a place to stay. Because when I came back to California, I was living with a guy and he and I didn't work out. So I moved back in with my parents, which is supposed to be an open door. This is your family. And it wasn't that way. So when I went to Costa Rica, they told me they were going to lock the doors on me and change the locks and all these different things. And I still went to Costa Rica. As a matter of fact, my stepmom hid my passport. Like, she kept my passport from me because we went, how I left that situation with the pimp and the prostitutes, I ended up going on a trip. He allowed me, because he knew my parents, he allowed me to go on this trip with them because he knew my parents, right? And so when we got back to California, my stepmom had all of our passports, and I'm looking for my passport. She knew I was looking for my passport and didn't give it to me. So I ended up just going to get another passport because I thought I had lost my passport. And when it was time to go to Costa Rica, I just ended up getting another one. I got one expedited because I knew the process and how to do it to get an expedited passport. So I went on the trip and they changed the locks when I got back. Sure enough, you know. So I ended up sleeping in my car for a couple of days, and then I got into a shelter. And just like knowing that I have an entire family that lived in California and nobody wanted to allow me to live with them is wild to me. Like, I couldn't even sleep on anybody's couch. And then the person, my cousin, my stepmother's cousin who I grew up with, she allowed me to sleep on her couch like one night. But her house was dirty. It was nasty. It was filthy. Her kids were like running around. It was gross. And I was like, I'd rather just sleep in my car. Like, why would I